Welcome to another episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Kathrina Miccio. What's up,
Hi,
Katrina?
how you
Katrina, how
doing?
are you?
How you doing, Stax?
I'm really good.
Thanks for
A lot
having
of
me.
a lot of people have been asking me to bring you back on the show, and
Really?
yeah, I told them I would. So,
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you.
Flying Monkey, what's good? Gerard, Yankees for life. We got some people watching.
Oh, good. Hi.
It's growing slowly. Stevie Bullets is in the building. So you've been on my show before. I don't know if people know that. If you don't know that, go back and watch the interview I did with her. It was a few months ago,
hmm
and so how have you
I
been
always like
since
coming
then?
on your show because I never know what I'm going to say, what we're going to talk about. We just, you
Yeah,
know?
just go with the flow, right?
Yeah. It's nice. It's fresh.
So today I want to talk about what it was like when you came into meeting James Gandolfini, like what the whole process was to even get involved with being involved with The Sopranos. And I kind of like want to, if there's girls out there that want to be actresses, maybe you could give them advice and show how you went about your career, because now you do film festivals and all kinds of stuff
Oh,
like
I
that.
do a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been in Screen Actors Guild since 2000. And I got my screen my SAG card from being in a film. I was actually doing makeup at the time. I was a makeup artist, and they said, "Hey, Kat, we need a girl at the bar to, um, talk to Richard Lynch, who was in the film, and be like, bar girl." They said, if you do this, you could be in SAG. I was like, really? Okay, I'll do
And it
it.
was for the Bada Bing, right?
No, this was an independent film that I did when oh God, this had to be back in like 99 when I was
Do you
doing
want to
makeup.
explain to the people what SAG is?
Oh, Screen Actors Guild is a union, is an actors union that protects you just like any other union. Um, and you can either work union or non-union. And if you're in the union, you can't work non-union work. So you get paid better and you have protection, just like
Oh,
any
so
other.
you weren't in it before, and they offered you to
No,
be in it?
at that point in 99, when I was doing makeup, I had taken a lot of acting classes, but makeup was always um very it was good good money for me because I was working alone, so it was good, and I always did a little bit of acting. I even did some non-union work, but they said, oh, you could be in the union if you do this part. So I said, well, who's going to do my makeup? So they're like, you are okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So so I put some sexy things on and with some clothes on, and I was hanging out at the bar with Richard Lynch, who was an amazing actor. And it was really it was a great experience to work with him. And I had a few lines. I think I did a little improv. I don't even know if they were proper lines, but it was legitimate. And then I became SAG eligible, which means even though you're eligible, you still have to pay to get into the union. So I think I waited a little while
What
because
do you mean
at that
pay? You gotta. What do you
time
mean
it was
you?
a couple of $1,000s to get in it.
Yeah.
So I was SAG eligible, and then I said okay, and then I joined. And once I joined, the ball just rolled into a lot of parts for me, which was really cool, really great. And one of them was The Sopranos, and I was asked to do that, to be one of the Bada Bing bartenders. And I was like, what is a Bada Bing bartender? So they told me. I was like, all right. Okay. The outfit was cute, you know, little blue tank top and black shorts and boots. I said, I get to keep my clothes on, right? Good. Yes. Although after David Chase, a couple of years while I was doing that, he wanted me to do a nude part. He wanted me to come in and audition for a topless part. And I said, but the bartenders don't get topless.
Yeah.
And I was with Jim at the time, and he's like, you're not doing that. I said, okay. I wasn't going to do it anyway. It didn't make any sense to me. So it was a little bit strange. I thought the scene was a little strange, but I remained on the show for about 4 years. I was doing the Bada Bing thing, and
how did you go about to start dating James Gandolfini?
Well, I met him there. I met him while I was on the show, and then
you want to explain the first time you ever met him, the first time you guys ever interacted?
I was behind
together.
the bar. I was in my Bada Bing outfit, and I think I met Federico first. I met Federico Castelluccio because he was in the scene too. So we started talking, and I've been
Federico, he's the guy that was playing the guy with the hair, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, he's great. And we've been friends for many, many years. He's an incredible artist as well. And so I met him, and we were chatting, and then Jim came in, and we started, you know, he came over to the bar, he leaned over, and he's, you know, oh, is that them together? Nice.
Yep.
That's great. And we just, I don't know, I think we had like instant chemistry. He was a very, very, God, it's so hard to talk about him sometimes. He was a very generous, kind person, and very different than his character. And he was brilliant. He was a really brilliant man. But anyway, so we'll go back to that, because I'll get very emotional if I start talking too much about him like that. Anyway, so I think it was either that night or the night after. I was in the city in Pastis, in this bar restaurant, and I think I was hanging out with Vinnie Pastore at the time, because I knew Vinnie before The Sopranos, and we were in a commercial together, and Vinnie was there, and all of a sudden Jim walks in to Pastis, and he goes, I know you. I said, no, I know you. And there we were, you know, like it was like fireworks kind of. It was really nice chemistry. And so, and then it just kept happening. I just kept running into him, and it wasn't even about the show. It was like, hey, now we're friends, because we're seeing each other everywhere. It was a very, very odd thing. Aw, this is Vinny. So what happened was, I was asked to do a body double for Lorraine Bracco for a part. It was a body double, so you wouldn't have seen my face. They just thought that my body worked well for the scene. And so it ended up that I ended up doing a scene with Jim. So it was supposed to be Lorraine and Jim together, but I ended up being her body double for part of it. And then after the scene, he asked me if I wanted to go for a drink with him. Oh, I love Lorraine. So I did, and we had something to eat. It was at Cafe Tabac. It was right around the corner from where I lived in Soho. And it was very funny what happened after I just thought of something. Things come through my head. So we had a really great conversation, and I said to him, he goes, "Oh, I'd like to see you again." I said, "But are you engaged?" And he said, "Yeah, I am." I said, "Well, then that's not going to work."
Yeah.
He said, "Well, it looks like it's not going to work out. I think she's moving back to California." And I said, "Well, when she does and you break up and you're no longer engaged, then call me, because I don't do that. I don't mess in other people's relationships. So when you're free and clear, then call me." And so he walked me to my apartment in Soho. And as we were in front of the doorway, we're chatting and whatever. He gives me a kiss goodbye. And my neighbor from downstairs in the building comes out, and she sees him.
Yeah.
And she looks at me, and she looked at him. She was like,
"So what season is it by that time? What, like, how far into the everything is?" Has it been going on for a while? Like, the show's been going on?
I think it was season 5. I think. I honestly, I don't remember. We dated from well, I met him in 2004, and then I don't remember exactly when we actually got together. It was only a few months, and then I dated him until like the end of 2006, something like that. And so yeah, that was that's how we met, and that's how we got together. He called me, and we started seeing each other.
So with the paparazzi, were they following you guys around a lot when you would be seen?
We kept it really kind of quiet, because he really didn't like a lot of paparazzi and all that around. So, I mean, literally, I lived about 3 blocks away from him, because he was in Tribeca and I was in the end of Soho, by Grand Street. So I was so close. I just walked, to his house and back. So honestly, I didn't really want to go out a whole lot with him. We did.
Yeah.
And when we did, it wasn't that much fun. Because there were so many people that wanted to talk to him. This was like at the height of The Sopranos. And people like congregate, they just were like swooning in on us. And like girls would literally cut in front of me and push me out of the way.
And would he be like, nah?
Oh,
like,
no, he was not happy about that. He just, he didn't want to start a fight, especially with a girl, but he definitely, said that that's really rude. Don't do that to her. Stay back,
Yeah, they just don't care. Like, their minds are not even there when there's
ruthless.
Yeah, when there's somebody famous, people don't.
Huh?
Yeah, when there's somebody famous and people want to get to them, they don't care. Like,
no. So I honestly, I prefer just spending time ordering in, or I'd cook, and we spent some really, really great moments together,
Has there been?
dancing in his living room to Frank
Yeah.
Sinatra, and we spent a lot of really nice moments together that I'll treasure forever, you know.
Is there
And
any times from the show that you remember that stand out in your head?
any what?
Any times when you guys were recording the series?
Um, well, it was kind of strange once we started like dating and I was on the show, you know. He didn't want me to do the bada bing thing, even though I was fully clothed, you know. He didn't like it. And then they would have me serving the champagne in the champagne room, or you know, things like that, and it would be like our own little secret because we didn't really let it out until he took me to the premiere.
But so
um
do you think that other people did other people have an idea but they didn't know?
oh, people, yeah, like Federico knew, Vinny knew, you know, there were mutual friends
Yeah.
knew, but we really didn't tell that many people about it. And but you know, once he took me to the premiere, there were paparazzi everywhere. As soon as we got out of the car, we got in the car, you
They're like, oh
know.
my God, blah, 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 right?
No,
They're,
it was chaos and crazy, and you know, and then you know, he did. There was issues with his ex-wife too that I don't want to get into, but
yeah.
you know, she had, I don't know, that it was a little bit weird, but anyway. So, but I'll never say a bad thing ever about him because for me there was nothing bad to say. He was a brilliant actor and a brilliant man. I mean, he used to read like 5 books at a time. There were books everywhere, all over his house, and reading glasses on each book. You know, I'm like, are you reading all of these books at once? You know, yeah, why? Why? How do you read all these books? And he really he wanted to play Hemingway. He was
Yeah,
really
like
he wanted
he wasn't anything like his part, right?
no,
A lot of
no.
people, I think they get it confused. They think like Tony
Oh
Soprano
no,
is always like that.
no.
He's Tony Soprano, but he's not. He's really like total opposite kind of person.
What was the movie that Julia Louise Dreyfus was in? Um I think it was one of the last films he did. And it took me a really long time because he had passed,
To watch it.
for me to watch it. I couldn't, it was really difficult for me to watch. But there were bits of him in that film, bits of Jim in that film. I saw him come out, you know, and it was nice to see. It was actually him, you know. It was like a very caring human. And if you watch that film, you could get a sense of a little bit of his real personality.
One of them's called The Drop. This is the last movie he ever did.
No, it was with Julia Louise Dreyfus. Oh my God, why can't I remember the name of that? Um, I just had it in my head. Ah, could you look it up? Um,
Enough Said.
Enough Said. That's it.
Yeah.
Enough Said. It was a nice film, and it
What
was
was it
even the
about?
way he really spoke. The
What
way
was
he
it
really
about? Do you
spoke.
remember?
What?
Do you remember what the movie is about?
I don't know if I think I was too distracted watching the film and like
Yeah.
watching him
Is
because I
it
didn't
like a
watch it.
relationship movie? Kind of like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but it was heartwarming, and it was I just saw a lot of his personality in that film, and it was nice to see.
Yeah, that's awesome that you guys were able to connect like that.
Yeah, we did. We had a really nice relationship and friendship even after
So
we broke up.
after everybody knows you're involved in a relationship, do people act weird with you on the set?
Nobody on the set knew except our friends.
No,
I
I mean
didn't go around telling.
after
We didn't
everybody
go
knows.
around pushing it. And I stopped working at doing the bada bing thing because he didn't really want me to work there doing that. And I was getting parts, better parts too. So
Yeah.
you know, I didn't really want to do that anymore. And after 4 years of being in a strip club and you know, pretending you're wiping the bar down, you know, doing all that kind of stuff. I mean, you know, they gave me a line here and there, but it was mainly just for the effect of being there.
Hold on, I gotta put a couple people in the bathroom.
What?
You know, like you remember Goodfellas?
The Bronx Tale?
Bronx Tale, yeah.
Bronx Tale.
Wasn't that Goodfellas? When they're like, put him in a no, Bronx Tale. Yeah, put him in a bathroom.
Bronx Tale.
Yeah, put him in a bathroom. When they're putting all those guys in the bathroom.
Everybody had these crazy names.
When people are disrespectful around my show, I say put them in a bathroom, and I just block them.
Were they saying stupid things? People saying bad things?
They were running their mouths, so I just blocked them.
Oh,
put them in a bathroom.
Things about me?
And they were just running their mouth, saying disrespectful things. Period.
Oh.
So now they're in the bathroom scrubbing the toilet with a toothbrush. Keep them in the bathroom
and don't give them a donut and don't give them toilet paper.
Nah, they ain't getting nothing. I don't engage with the negative, and I stand behind everything I say. Right in the bathroom, Tommy said. So I'm a DJ now, and at the end of the night, I say, put him in the bathroom. And everyone's like, what the hell does that mean? I said, don't worry about it. You'll find out. Or watch Chattin with Staxx, and you'll find out.
There you go.
So after you guys start dating, what was your plan to stay with the Sopranos? Like, did you have a direction you wanted to go with your career? Did you want to do movies?
I just stayed with acting, and he was very, very supportive of my acting career and my art. In fact, even after we broke up, he sponsored one of my art shows, and it was at the Gibson guitar showroom in the city, and I was asked to do a show there, and it was a one-woman show, and I did all of these musicians that played Gibson guitar, and it was great. And he came and supported the show, and he sponsored it, and it was amazing. I had
so
about
when you guys broke up, it wasn't like a bad.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, we stayed friends. You know,
because a lot of people don't.
Oh no, we didn't have a bad breakup at all. It was better for both of us.
So you guys still work together after?
We didn't work together again, no.
No, after you guys broke up, you were done. Like, it wasn't no more working together.
No, we didn't work together, no. But I mean, I got a lot of acting gigs after that.
I'm sure you did.
I'm doing a lot now. I just filmed a sizzle reel for a film called Cairo Killer, which I have a lead in.
Shout out to Ciro DePazio. He's part of that, right?
Oh, and Mob King. Mob
Yeah.
King, yes, it's Zero. Cairo Killer, I have a lead. Just because Mob King, I have a little part. It's important part, but it's a very small part. Cairo Killer, I have a lead in, and I play Nut, a crazy person, which I was so happy. Like, yes, I want to play a crazy psycho killer. So, oops, my phone is going crazy. Sorry.
Are you the Cairo Killer, or can
I
you not
can't
let that
say.
information
I
out?
can't say, but I definitely am a lead. I can't say because we just did the sizzle reel for that. And I'm a lead in the Fantanas. And Richard Kern, let me give a shout out to Richard Kern for Cairo Killer, and Jerry Ferretti for the Fantanas, which I play a very cool part. My family is in the mob. And once this gets going, you should have the whole cast on, because it's a cast of characters for sure. It's really
Yeah, I
great.
definitely will.
And my character basically is, I'm the ex-wife of the lead actor, but my family was in the mafia, is in the mafia, my character.
Yeah.
And so the family still comes to me for favors, even though I'm the ex-wife. So it's written really well, and it's really funny, and there's some really great characters and actors in it. Amazing. It's fun.
It sounds like a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with the film festival stuff?
Film festivals. Well, I don't know if I even mentioned this the
Because you
last
kind of
time.
you have your own, you put together your own film festival, right?
Yeah.
And that's crazy. That's a lot of work,
Well,
and
it all started because I had breast cancer in 2015. And while I went through that whole thing, a year and a half with no hair, no eyebrows, was
my mom went through it
Martian.
too,
I was
and
a
she had
Martian.
radiation burns, all that
Oh,
stuff
the
with the
burns.
chemo port and all that.
No, I didn't have, I
Terrible.
never had the port. I didn't have, because I have good Italian, thick Italian veins,
Yeah.
so they saw my veins and they were able to always find a vein. So I was like, they're like, no, you don't need the port. I'm like, good, because I don't want that. I didn't want to live with that. It was bad enough that I was bald, and I didn't
It's
have hair on
it's a pretty dramatic thing to walk around, have a bald head, and
well, I
a
didn't
hat.
want, I always had a wig. I couldn't do it. Even though
My
everybody said,
mom,
"Oh
she
my
didn't
God,
even
you have
care.
such a nice head." I'm like,
My
"That's
mom
nice.
didn't care.
It's
She's
still
like,
getting
I'm bald,
covered."
I got cancer, and I don't care.
No. I used to wear this. There was this thing. It was like a half wig, right? So it was like this elastic. So the hair only was like from here, down. So I'd wear like a baseball cap, or a
Yeah, something just
so
to cover.
like just kind of a hat. What
Yeah,
do they call that? Skull cap kind of
a
hat.
beanie. Yeah.
It's a beanie cap. And then
Hmm.
so I would just have the hair come out, and then sometimes I'd be blonde and sometimes I'd be brunette, whatever I felt like.
And it just looked like you had hair, right?
And it looked like I had hair. Yeah. So but if I went out, I couldn't do the hat thing. So I had a proper wig that I was really lucky that I found that this I had called the union and asked if there was anybody that made the lace caps. So he actually recreated my hairline. It was really cool. I cried. When he actually put the thing on me after he was done, he put it on, and I was like, I lost it, because it was so long since I kind of really saw myself. I always had these weird wigs and blah, blah, blah. But,
Yeah.
he took a picture of me. I gave him a picture of me, a headshot, and he drew my because wigs don't usually have like this
Yeah, they
on the
don't have
side. It
they
just
don't
goes
have
like
the
straight.
baby hairs and
Yeah,
all
all
that.
this whole, like this whole thing here.
Yeah.
So he drew it, and then he put this plastic wrapped around my head. I don't know what he did, but then it just went after he drew my hairline, and he popped it off my head, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna take this with me.
Yeah, it's
So
like this rubber thing, right?
no,
It's
it
kind of
was
like
like,
this.
it was plastic that he was, it was like, it was like an art. I don't know how he did this, but he kept wrapping, and he just, like, it got hard, and it popped off of my head, and he took it with him, and it had the lines, the marks, and he made the wig, I guess, on top of that thing,
And
and
they
at the
use real
hairline.
hair from
Well, I
from
had a wig.
people.
I gave him my real wig that cost a couple of $1,000s. It was real hair.
Yeah.
And he just went in and sewed my hairline in it.
Wow.
It
That's pretty
was
wild.
it was so wild, and nobody ever knew that it was a wig. It was,
That's pretty
anyway. So,
crazy.
all right, enough of the whole cancer thing. But when I was going through treatments, I said to myself, I don't want anybody to look at me like I was, poor thing, right? Like, oh, how are you doing? You good? How are you?
Yeah.
Ew. I didn't like that. I'm too independent a person to don't look at me like that. I don't want to
Yeah.
ever look at anybody like that. Like, how are you?
I know what you're saying.
Nobody wants to be looked at like that, right? You okay? You sure? Am I sure? you know? And everybody had their own, ideas of how, you really don't need chemo. All you need is put turmeric on your salad. Turmeric cures cancer.
Turmeric? I'm sure
Really?
you had.
Oh, you
I'm,
mean I didn't have to do all this?
I'm sure you had a lot of people saying all kinds of crazy
All
stuff.
kinds of like insane things you can't even imagine. Oh, you have breast cancer. Oh, my aunt just died last week of that.
Oh, so
Oh,
they take away your hope.
great. Thanks. For anybody out there, if you know somebody that's going through cancer, keep the people that just died of it, try to keep that out of the conversation, because
Yeah, kind of
nobody
kill your will,
nobody that
right?
has cancer wants to know that people are dying of cancer. We have enough in the world. It was like, nobody wants to hear that.
Because
And you want to
when you were,
relate. I understand people don't know what to say. If you can't say something good, don't say it at all, basically. But anyway, so while I was going through treatments, I said to myself, I want people to laugh. I don't want them to feel bad for me anymore. So I wrote a comedy. I wrote a comedy called St. Joseph, and it was based off a true story. And it's about the superstition. If you want to sell your house, you take a small statue of St. Joseph, you turn it upside down in your backyard facing the house, and you sell your house fast.
I never heard that one before.
Oh yeah, that is that actually goes back 500 years. It's not just like a made up weird it goes back 500 years, because I really researched this when I made the film. Nuns used to take medals, like religious medals.
Yeah.
And they used to go, there you go. If a landowner wanted to sell their property, they used to ask the nuns to come by and bury the medals of St. Joseph, because St. Joseph was the carpenter. So he was the protector of homes.
Yeah.
So they used to bury the St. Joseph medals, pray over it, and then their land would be sold. And if you look into the history of this people I guarantee people that are listening to this, they know at least one person that has sold their house by doing this. This happened to me twice. And the true story was when I was about to get married, when I was married, right before we were getting married, we needed to sell his house. So we buried the St. Joseph statue. His kids didn't know that we were selling the house, and he didn't want to put a sign up. So all these people came for the open house, like 160 couples came, and the neighborhood didn't know what was going on. All these people
Everyone's freaking out, like, what's going on? What's going on?
What is going on? They had no idea. We sold the house in 3 days, I think 2 days, and there was a bidding war.
That's crazy. That's crazy, because mine's St. Christopher. The one that I have on my neck is St. Christopher.
Yes.
It's the traveling one.
Traveling. That's why people usually have St. Christopher in their car. So yeah. So this,
this is St. Joseph right here.
I have my grandfather's St. Christopher medal. So I'm just afraid to wear it because I'm afraid I'm going to lose it. So I then put this film. I had Vinnie Pastore. I had all my Sopranos friends in it.
Shout out to Vinnie Pastore.
Vinnie Pastore was in it. He played God. And it was I made this story. Oh, well, let me tell you this. So when I was married, there were these people that lived across the street from me, and they had the woman was kind of like a hoarder in a way, but and not on the outside, and the inside, because I never saw the inside. My ex-husband saw it, and but the outside of the house, there was, the plastic nativity set of the St. Joseph and the Mary. Well, they had just the St. Joseph leaning on their garage, like on the side of their house, from the day that we moved in until the day I walked out and left him. That thing was leaning. I'm like, but don't, every time they pass it, don't they see him? So so that's really where I got the idea of, if you bury a 3-inch St. Joseph, what would happen?
So seeing that one is where you got the idea from it?
St. Joseph.
So you seeing that every day is where you got the idea for it.
It made me crazy, and I wanted them to move. And I have to just put the plug in. My phone's gonna die. So I said, if you bury a 3-inch St. Joseph statue in your backyard and you sell your house, what would happen if you bury a 3-foot one?
Did you bury it? Did you bury the 3-foot one?
Yeah, it's a comedy. It's very silly. I have animation in it. Anyway, so I made this little short film.
Where can people see it? There's people that want to see it.
It's not, there's the St. Joseph statue. If you go on Amazon, they have St. Joseph home selling kits.
I'm going to look that up too.
But instead, there's a prayer that you're supposed to pray when you're doing it. But I wrote a song.
Home. That's insane. They really do have it.
I know.
And it's just a medal. It's just a round medal.
Song instead, and it's at the end of the movie, and it's really cute. If you want to sell your home, then in your yard you'll roam. Dig a hole that's nice and round and put the statue in the ground. And it goes on. And on.
Here's one of the statues. This is one of the home selling kits. I'll show it to you.
There you go.
$10 for anyone out there that wants to sell your home.
It works. It works. Because when before I left the house, I wanted to, get out of there and sell the house fast. So I buried the statue, and we didn't even have an open house. We didn't need it because we
Did
sold the
you
house
bury
in
the
2
3-foot
days.
one? Did you
We
bury
put the house on the market. We put the house on the market, and it on a Thursday. The open house was Sunday, and we sold the house on Saturday. So it was only 2 days. So they work. If you really believe, you have to believe, and it works. And
Did you ever hear the story about the red door, or why people have red doors?
Isn't that like an Asian
or
custom?
the eagle in the front yard?
No, I don't know these.
So if you have an eagle in your front yard, that means your house is paid for. Once your house is paid for, this is what I heard in Connecticut. I don't know about anywhere else.
Okay.
But once you pay for your house, you get an eagle in your front yard, and that means your house is paid for.
Ah, and what's the red door?
The red door one, I forgot. I'm gonna look it up.
Well, I ended up putting my St. Joseph in a ton of film festivals, and I kept winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. It was really, I mean, it got to the point where I said I'm not going to submit anymore because I have a ton of I won like 24 awards for best actress, director, because I did everything myself. I produced it, I directed it, I wrote it, and I starred in it. And I won basically for all of that, and Vinny won, and everybody, the supporting actors won, and it was really great. Ensemble, we won for everything. And
so you got a whole bunch of awards for it?
Oh, I from all over the country and the world, in Italy and all over. And I said, I'm not, that's enough. I don't want to take from anybody else. I was feeling guilty that I was winning all these awards. So I said, okay, I'm going to stop. And the Cutting Room in the city is a music venue that
I've heard of the Cutting Room. I've heard
of
it.
Artwork. I'm a painter as well. I'm a portrait artist, and I paint musicians. My website's MICCIOART.com. And whoever goes, whatever musician performs there, famous musicians like Billy Joel or Ronnie Wood or whatever, that they'll ask me to do a portrait, and then they sign it. So it's kind of cool. Anyway, so it's a great, amazing venue. I've had there we are.
Here's your website.
Ronnie Wood.
For all the people who want to see the website, I'll put a link for put a link for your website in the description of this video, and you guys can check it out.
Ronnie Wood's wife came up to me and told me that was the best rendition of a portrait of him that she's ever seen. So I thought that was really cool. I was a nervous wreck painting that because he's an artist himself.
I know. Look how good that painting is.
That's like paint a painting of Picasso. Oh, okay.
Oh, he's gonna judge it too, though.
I know. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was afraid of. And I said, I better kick this painting's ass, and then I pull out something really good, And so I was a mess doing it, but I think I pulled it off because he liked it too, and he signed the back of it, and it's for sale if anybody wants.
You got Billy Joel.
Yeah.
British Airways commissioned. British Airways commissioned.
What?
British Airways.
Yeah, British Airways commissioned Roger Daltrey painting, and he signed that.
That's wild.
And Rob Thomas, that was that of Matchbox 20. That is a portrait of him, and that was at at the Riga Riga Hotel in Atlantic City. It was for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame event that was there, and he performed, and I met him, and he came over to me and wrote in the back of the painting, "This is fucking awesome."
That's awesome. It's great.
Yeah, it was cool. And he just like wanted to talk about art, and I'm like, I think you have a concert to do. And oh, that was in my studio with Steven Tylerico.
You got your painter hat
Poor
on.
Steven, did you hear about him?
No.
He went back, he had to go back to rehab.
Oh, what
He was doing so
he was sober
good.
for a while, right? He's been sober
So
for a long time.
long.
And
I was
I
so
mean,
upset when I
sometimes
heard
people
that.
just slip. People slip, and
He'll be okay. He'll pop back fast. He's got a strong will.
it's a everyday struggle, you know.
I know it is. I
A lot
know.
of people don't understand how
I know. And
it's
you know what? I don't have like an addictive personality, but when I lived in the Hamptons for a little while, for about 6 months. And for some reason, a lot of people in the Hamptons are in AA, and everybody that I met was in AA. All my
yeah.
friends were like, so I said, I asked if I could, go into like because sometimes they have like open meetings that
Yeah,
you could bring
anybody can
people.
go.
Not
Anybody
all
can
the
go.
time. Not all the
Not
time.
all. Sometimes they have
No,
closed meetings.
right.
Hmm.
So I went to a lot, not because I was an alcoholic, but because I wanted to understand, because that was what everybody said. You don't understand. You don't understand how it is. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. You don't understand. So I said, you know what? I want to understand. You're my friend. I'm going to try to understand. And I'm going to come to these meetings to really understand what this is about, if I can, if it's possible, whatever I could get out of it. And also, it helped in acting too,
Yeah.
to get inside of the mind of an addict, or an alcoholic or addict,
I think
whatever.
AA could help anyone with your everyday life. It's
Yeah,
about positive change, and there's a lot to it.
yeah. And it helped me to understand them. They still didn't. And I'm never going to say that I understand an addict's mind. I won't. I can't, because I'm not. But it did help, whatever little bit that I got out of that. Another thing, if you know somebody that is that's in that situation, go to a meeting, and be really supportive of them, because it's helpful to understand.
Yeah, you're not alone
Try
out
to
there.
understand. Hmm?
Yeah, and let people know you're not alone out there. There's other people that struggle with the same addictions and stuff.
Yes.
So I've
Yeah.
been through it. I was addicted to alcohol really bad for a long time, and I'm sober today, and it feels great. It feels good to have a new
Yay!
life, have a new lease on life, and everything's
Was
new
it
and it's great.
genetic for you? Because I always listened to, if the mother or the father had was an addict, then the
My father was an
chances
alcoholic,
the
so
chances are, if, unfortunately, and it doesn't always have to be alcohol, and it doesn't always have to be, it could be, another personality kind of disorder, and I believe that it is genetic.
I went through a lot of different spurts of different things throughout my life, through different time periods. Like
Yeah.
there was a cocaine time period, there was an alcohol time period. It just like went in blocks.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad to be away from all that and just moving in a positive direction, try to better the future.
Yeah. Well, I'm really happy for you.
Thank you. I
you
really
know.
appreciate that.
And it's impossible. It's impossible for someone that's not in the situation to really understand. But I tried. Because I don't want people to go, you don't understand what I'm going through.
You just don't get it.
You just don't get it. No, I don't get it. I don't, because I'm not in your mind. I'm not in your life. I don't wake up, wanting a drink.
Yeah.
But
I used to shake so bad, I would have to drink. Like I'd be shaking.
Oh my God.
And you got to drink just to stop shaking. And to
But I
even like
did that. I
function.
went to these
Crazy.
meetings with my friends just to, get a little bit of,
You know how it is? Like when you're out, you're drinking all night and then you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, you feel like crap.
Yeah.
It's like that. And then you're like, I'm never going to do that again. Why did I do that? You say that throughout the day. And then by around, I don't know, 3, 4 o'clock, people are like, you start to feel better. And then people are like, we're going to go to the bar after work. And you forget all about the day before. And then you just go with them to the bar, and it's another process. I
It
used
was
to do
kind of the
that.
people that you were hanging around with too.
It was the people. It was everything. It was a combination of everything.
Yeah.
And just years and years. It was a long time.
Well, I'm glad you're not going through that anymore.
Yeah, it's great. To break away from the binds of addiction. It's just great. And I wouldn't change my life for anything.
Awesome.
So when's your latest movie that people can go check out?
Mob King is coming out soon.
There's Mob King, and then you have where you interview people on your channel,
I
right?
have my own show. I have the Kat Miccio show where I have that airs on KP Media on Wednesday nights, actually at 8:00. And my very first interview was with Armand Asante at his house, which
and it was a really good one too.
You watched it, huh?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and he was amazing. His house is so beautiful. And
where is his house?
I don't remember the name of the town. It's like way up,
Is
above.
it in New York?
You pass New Jersey going into New York, and it's another, I don't know, hour from there or something. I don't remember. I remember it was up there, but beautiful area. His house is magnificent. And he's got artwork of his father's all over the house. It's so gorgeous. And him and his father built the second floor of the house, and it's just enormous. He calls it the studio, and he goes, oh, go, maybe the light in the studio is good up there. I'm like, it looks like a ballroom. It's so big. I said, this is your studio, really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But he was amazing. And so when I don't get live interviews all the time, what I do is I take, because I have film festivals. So during the pandemic, I have 3 film festivals. During the pandemic, I had to do everything online. So I have all of this footage of directors and actors and people, filmmakers that were in these films that were in my festivals that I interviewed. So I show the interview, and then they see the film after. So when I don't have a live interview, a one-on-one in somebody's house or whatever, I show that, and that's called IndieFilm Cafe.
Oh, you showed the interviews you did with them at the film festival?
Yeah, because I'm talking about, I already interviewed them. There's Armand. Hi, Armand.
I got an older picture of him too. I got one of the older ones when he had the hair.
So that's been going really well. And people get to see amazing films.
That's when he had the hair. Remember the hair?
Yeah. Um, so yeah, he's
So
great.
Gotti Part 2 is coming out. It's gonna be they're filming it this summer, I believe. And that's gonna be great. Chicky Chickatelli is in part of it. So
Who?
Chicky
I don't
is
know.
from Springfield.
Okay.
One of my friends from Springfield. He comes on the show once in a while, and he's in a bunch of different movies, and he's gonna be in Gotti too.
Oh.
He was in Whitsec Mafia with Damian Trites and John Gotti Jr. And he was in the Flanagans.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of the Flanagans?
Yes, I have heard of that.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but oh, all right.
So what's next for you? What is next
well,
for
I have
Kathrina?
another show that I can't talk about right now, so I guess you're gonna have to have me back on. But yeah, something
Definitely.
just happened actually. It's official, but it's gonna be really cool that a lot of people can relate to. And I'm gonna give some really good. I'm gonna have experts on the show, but I can't talk about it yet. But
Well, once it comes out, you can come on the show and tell us all about it.
I will, and I'm gonna be really. I love the concept. I love everything about it, and I think people. And I'm gonna make the show a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be great. I just wish I could say what it is, but I can't. I talked to the producers today. They're like, no, you can't talk about it yet. I'm like, whoa, I'm so excited about it. Because they literally just hired me last night.
Well, hey, I wish you all the best with all that.
Thank
And
you.
I hope everything works out for you.
Thank you so much. Thanks
Yeah,
so
and you're
much for
welcome back
having
here
me.
anytime.
Oh, I
Anytime.
love being on your show.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you for
Is there
having me.
anyone you want to give a shout out to before we go?
Oh God, who could we? Well, everybody that I just worked with on Cairo Killer and
Shout out to Ciro and all them. Ciro,
It
Dan.
was his wife's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
Lola.
Happy birthday, Lola.
They have
His
a new
wife's awesome
puppy.
too.
They have a new little puppy, and I made the puppy sing, my talking pet. Did you ever see that? And you you record it, and the dog.
Hey Mike Rotch, get your ass in the bathroom, man. See you later.
No, I sing.
Go
Happy
scrub
birthday.
the toilet with Flying Monkey and Angry Brown.
Oh God, are people saying stupid things?
No, he tried, but I got him out before he could even spit it out.
You better tell me later what these people are saying so I could yell at them.
Yeah, they ain't even worth the time.
They're not worth yelling at.
They're not worth it. They will never live the life that I live or that you have lived.
No.
So, hey,
No.
I'd be mad
that we're living.
I'd be mad if I wasn't me too.
I've never been so happy. I'm doing everything that I want to do, and
Me too.
And I'm a survivor, and you are too. And I'm
gonna keep pushing on.
And paying back. I pay forward. Yeah. I pay forward every day.
Try to be a great person and do the right thing.
Yeah.
I really thank you for coming on. I appreciate it every time you come on. And you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for joining me. And make sure you check out all her stuff. I'll put links for her stuff in the description of this video.
My Instagram is Kathrina Miccio Official. And
there's an H in her word. If you didn't know, it's not Kathrina. It's Kathrina.
H, don't forget
Kathrina.
My full name is Katharina Anna Francesca Miccio.
Wow, that's a long name. That might be longer than my daughter's. My daughter has a long name too. But thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you guys.
Everybody.
Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you could get my videos every time they drop. Till next time, man. Thank you, Kathrina.